artist, please mute your mic or we will just remove you. Thank you.
So my start to the metaverse actually began at the very first Polygon Showcase hosted by our illustrious creative owl standing next to me here. I had to, in order to be a participant for the showcase, it was strongly suggested. Sunnies, hi Sunnies, how are you doing, Sunnies? You want to put yourself on mute there, love bug? Thank you. So it was strongly suggested that a gallery be created in order to, make the most of your experience at the very first Polygon Showcase. And that is how I popped into it. Previously, I had dabbled in Decentraland and the Sandbox, but I didn't really find myself in those spaces, which, I didn't connect with anything in particular. Oh, are we dancing? Do it. I'm not gonna compete with music because music will win every time. Stilo knows this. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so that's how I got into spatial. The other metaverses that I had explored, it was cool, but again, I didn't see myself reflected in the communities there at that time. And then I became very interested in the utilities and the possibilities, infinite possibilities of what a metaverse can do for you. So I did a deep dive. I met some incredible people. Meta Mike was my first partner in crime. I created my very first, he is a great person. I love Mike. He helped me create a charity event. So I utilized my brand new knowledge of the metaverse and my connections with Dave at the Polygon Alliance and my new friend Meta Mike, and we created this amazing gallery to raise funds for the people of Ukraine, because at that time, it's still terrible, but like at the time it was just starting to break out and things are going very badly, and that is what really opened my eyes to the possibilities in the metaverse. And so from that, I created a Twitter space called Metaverse Mondays, where we educate, we onboard, we celebrate creatives, and we also go portal hopping. So it's a really good way to jump into the metaverse, really friendly. We're there to help you get set up. It's a great space for new users, as well as Spatians who have been at it for a long time. So I found that education and supporting creatives has been a really great way for me personally to build community. And so I have been sort of taking off from spatial a little bit and enjoying and meeting and connecting with metaverses just that are popping up. So Decentraland, I've met the community there. Altspace VR. I got to tour a brand new metaverse before it even opens on Monday. It's called the Omniverse, which is a really cool thing I can get into later. So that is sort of where I am at and what I am doing in the metaverse right now. Creative Owls, I think, just rejoined. He should be here shortly. Where's the music when you need it? I hope I answered that question. Oh, he's joining the space again. This is good. But yeah, there you are. I just finished my explanation. You're right on time, Owls. All right, he's probably still connecting to voice, my guess. But anyways. Yeah, so honestly, it's Owl's fault that I'm here. So if you have any issues with me, you can take it up with him. I think I'm funny. I'm gonna give the mic back to Owls.
Yeah. So
nope.
I'm gonna do the
Cece, what was the question?
It's a little bit about yourself. Yeah, a little bit about yourself and doing in the metaverse. Yeah, rock it.
Awesome. I guess I'll go next. Hi, everybody. My name is Dope Stilo, but you guys can call me Stilo. I love music. I'm a recording artist, a producer, and in real life, I've been planning events and working with like a really cool crew of people, creating music and learning from each other. I met the metaverse, and basically it all just came full circle. And I feel like it has a lot of freedom for us as musicians, as artists. And I remember in 2012, I was like hacking, or maybe 2010, I was like hacking Google Hangouts to go live on YouTube and doing the same exact thing I'm doing now. So 10 years later, here we are, and the metaverse has all these tools and options and all these cool things for us to be able to take our craft to the next level and reach.
Tezos and Tezos art in general. So we started in Spatial at the beginning of the summer, and we haven't looked back since. We just had our gallery launch yesterday, so we have a gallery shop that opened, and we do have the link live. It is public, so you can go visit there, check out some new Tezos artists, as well as you will see some other curiosities, we'll say. As well, we are building the Web3 pages, which is essentially a service directory for anyone who's looking for services in Web3 or in metaverses. So that's something that to look out for in the next couple of weeks. We're also going to be tracking, people looking for collabs, or for example, if you guys are looking for people to fill roles in your organizations that you're building, we'll have space for that as well. So thank you, Creative, for asking me to join this panel today.
Thank you, and I'm happy that you're here today. And Dope, thank you. And you're next.
Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Benz, and my brand is Mom's Talk Crypto. Why Mom's Talk Crypto? Because like I said earlier, I am a mom here in the NFT space. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Perfect.
Keep going.
Okay, perfect. So like I was saying earlier, when I came to this space, I was basically an investor learning my way into crypto until I found the NFT. So Mom's Talk Crypto kind of stay with my brand. My kids are always with me, so I put them as a priority when I come to the spaces. I first joined Spatial because of Owl. I am a Owl holder. Well, I own two, and he showed me around a Spatial and kind of opened my mind how like all the things that you were able to do here. The first part I was part of the Polygon Christmas party, and I've been part of all the Polygon showcases. But within the environment that Creative Owls have made here in Spatial, I always found an opportunity where I have my art displayed. I will go to his spaces and basically park my avatar in front of the art and kind of network with people that were like showing interested, giving them a tour into I started connecting with a lot of amazing artists here in the space. Also in March, I directed and hosted with Creative Owl Woman in Tech, where we awarded 53 female artists in the space, where I kind of even show them how to log into Spatial, how to create an avatar, how to like create their galleries, and I will like spend my time with them, give them a tour in Spatial. It gave us a lot of visibility, and we even made a lot of sales here from Spatial. I'm always trying to promote Spatial because it's a way just to give exposures to the artists. With my collections, most of the funds I've been investing back in emerging artists. I have collected for over 500 NFT from the community. I am now exploring the Tessos community as well, and you can see like the community art display across my galleries. I am trying to build a crypto NFT museum, Woman in Tech, just to open a lot of doors to artists, and you can see and say that these are utilities that people are now making galleries, creating events as part of the utility. Also, creating the new feature that is token gating, where you can give that exclusivity to your holders. I know James Stanfield and CJ Meta events, they hosted an event and they had kits. So token gating for events was really important. So a Spatial is just a big platform for you to grow. You can basically have your Web 2 to Web 3 business going on here, and it's a great platform to keep growing and connecting. So I am grateful for everything that Spatial has made possible for all of us.
Thank you, Vance, for sharing that, and thank you, CC, thank you, Dope, and thank you, Gecko, to talk about it. So let's dive in. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about utilities, perks in the metaverse, and realistically, perks and utilities weren't really a thing about a year ago. They were just kind of coming out, especially within the blockchain. Now, it's probably the most popular thing to have is utilities or having a perk to buying in a token, to buying tokens on the blockchain. I want to ask you guys what are some utilities that you guys have seen in the metaverse that's really creative that kind of caught your eye? I want you guys to just talk about one for like 30 seconds and pass the baton. I'll start with Dope Stilo first.
I would um I would say the major utility for me and NFTs, like basically to just put everything on the blockchain. So by using utility, I would say like, instead of getting paid in cash or USD, I would say like, hey, if you own this this OpenSea Polaroid I have, it's my performance token. I will perform for you as many times as you want. You have access to me in every way, shape, or form. And then if there's like maybe a quick, easy project that maybe doesn't need any promotion, it's just more providing value for their NFT community. Like, hey, we'd love to have some entertainment. I would say, yeah, grab a couple bonitas, which is my music NFT right now, and basically it's a receipt that they keep and they get to that they can sell later on, that has value and will probably appreciate. So in full Web3 economy and tokenization, that's where I'm kind of using the utility of my music NFT. One on OpenSea for performance token that's completely always there, and one on Rarible Bonita, which is 999 of them, and I'm trying to create or I am creating an economy and ecosystem that can create royalties for me as an artist later on down the road when a year or when it sells out in 6 months to a year from now. The value will skyrocket, and all the people that I've performed for, they will have that receipt that they can sell, and they'll say, wow, what a great investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that background, especially with what you're doing and what you're giving up. I'm going to go to G3 next. What type of utilities in the metaverse have you seen that kind of caught your eye?
And really, for me, it's not one particular thing, but coming from the art collector side and being an advocate for the artist, the exposure, being able to create this 3D gallery, which can be experienced in VR, that immersive experience, that is the ultimate utility in the metaverse.
I like that, and that's such a great thing to think about. And utility, that word is one thing, but it means so many different things to so many different communities because the value is really the utility and what people are bringing into it. And I see where you're coming from. Dan, the question is over to you. What utilities have you seen in the metaverse that have stood out to you?
Well, Ms. Gecko kind of like mentioned what I wanted to mention, but I feel like the metaverse platform like spatials are the main utility. Let's say for my project, use this platform as my marketplace, as a place that is not necessarily like my website, but where I can really give a visual into details of my ideas, my artwork, where I can connect with people and just the ability for you to showcase as like in the real world how hard it is just to be able to be part of a showcase. This platform makes it super easy for anyone to do a showcase. So for me, one of the biggest utility is having a platform that is a friendly user, like Spatial.
Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely with that. Cece, I'm going to turn it over to you. Same question. What type of utilities have you seen in the metaverse that kind of caught your eye?
This is one of my favorite questions. There are so many utilities. I could name a million, so you've only let me do one. So my absolute favorite one that I'm going to have to highlight is going to be creative think tanks. Getting artists from all around the world together, create together, like alone together, collaborations, whatever you want to call it. These think tanks of creatives are coming out. We are coming out with some really mind-blowing, beautiful artwork, utilities. It's beautiful to see what we can do together as a community. So that is my favorite thing to see is artists from Japan creating with artists from Sweden to make amazing environments. That's just one example of the incredible collaboration that's happening here in the metaverse. So that is my number one utility.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's such a great thing. Especially the think tanks, right? Connecting with other creators. I think that is the utility, your community, the environment that you create. This is a utility. And some of the things that I've seen within the metaverse, and I think everybody here that's listening has now heard of token gating in the metaverse. If you've heard of token gating, go ahead and jump for me, just so I know. Sit space bar. The reason why I asked that around token gating, because that's something that we're seeing very popular. We're seeing the music club or the music industry have their own private clubs. We're seeing the educational have their own token gating clubs. What are your thoughts on the token gating aspect of token gating your utilities for your community? And I'll start with fans, Dope, Geek, and then we'll end with CC again.
All right. I feel like we're already ready for token negating, and it is necessary for a lot of projects. As we know, we are onboarding a lot of projects. And right now, just to maintain your projects to be exclusive for your holders, just to feel that they have that value, token is necessary for certain events where you want to give like a unique experience, specifically when we're hosting this event and people are hoping in from all over. And sometimes we have amazing speakers that we would like to listen to, and we sometimes don't have control of how to like unmute people that are coming in here for the first time. So like I said, token gating, I feel just to it's necessary because we're a lot of people, and just to keep it exclusive. And yes.
Okay, I appreciate that. Dope. What are your thoughts on token gating?
My thoughts on token gating, it's man, it's like a deeper level into the metaverse. It's metaverse 2.0. It's special. It's intimate. It's diehard dedication. I think like for me, having a token gated event, creates a level of standard that I want to give back to my community. So, I give a concert every month at the end of the month for everyone who has a concert. And, I hope to give back to them something that, they've given me.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's such a great thing for you to do and give back by utilizing yourself for your community. G3, over to you. What are your thoughts on token gating right now for the metaverse?
So for right now, I think your question was, are we, too early to token gate? And I think that there's two parts to that. Right now, from a business perspective, and this is what myself and Grebflow are seeing from the consulting side, and people coming from Web 2.0 trying to get into Web 3.0. When we look at token gating, it is another barrier to entry. So how I envision it is the way that, say, for example, Stilo does. He has his weekly open space where people can come in. But for people like myself who are a fan, I want that extra and I want that special VIP experience. So I will be availing of the token gating aspect. For the general user that is just coming in, for the mainstream user, right now, I think token gating is too much. I think we're cutting people off before we get them into the spaces, but we can gradually introduce them. Walmart introduced a platform, a metaverse on Roblox this week. So Christie's 3.0 was just introduced yesterday. So we are going mainstream there. So what I keep saying to, the group that's building with us is we're building now for when the masses come, because they are going to come. Do I think right now we need to put token gated on every event? No, I think that will, diminish the number of people that can avail of these services. But they do have their place, such as, like I said, for that VIP experience. And again, when you tie it back to utility, and this is utility for NFTs, when I buy an NFT now, I want to see what the utility is. And if I get an extra concert in a location where only certain people get to go, that is most definitely utility for me, especially in a bear market.
I love that. Thank you. That's a round of applause for that. Great breakdown on that. Cece, the question is over to you. Are we too early to token gate?
The answer to that question depends on, first of all, how strong your community is, and then again, on the use case. I think Silo brought up some really good points about giving that private utility experience, VIP experience to his holders. Miss Greb came with some strong points about where you're at with, the barriers to entry. I strongly believe that if you have a strong community, you can token gate experiences like, private meeting rooms, shows, gallery openings, those sorts of things. But it is a barrier to entry. I've seen concerts happen in Decentraland where everyone gets to experience the music, but the ground floor is open to the public, and then there's a VIP section upstairs that is token gated. So it's beginning to look at token gating not as a have not, but looking at it and how we can utilize it to enhance the experience for people who are invested in your project, whatever it happens to be. So many good points. So I'll keep it short.
No, that was great. That's exactly what I wanted to hear from all you guys. That's definitely a topic that a lot of people are talking about. And can someone please just stop messing with the jumbotron? Just stop clicking it, and please mute your mic. We have a great conversation going on. Hate to get distracted like this. One of the things that we've seen here in the future, well, not in the future, one of the things that we've seen in Web 2 is that big brands all have awesome websites. All of us creators, if you're a creator in the space, clap if you got your own website, right? Make some noise if you have your own website, right? Now, what are your thoughts on moving forward into the Web3? Do you think that all big brands or all big creators should have their own metaverse? I'm going to go to Dope Stilo. We'll go to High CC, and then we'll go to G3 and then Vans. So Dope, for you first.
Absolutely. I just can't agree more with giving that, like Ms. Gecko said, to back up that, just giving that extra to that community. I think if Walmart wants to compete with Target, having a metaverse would be a great way to keep your customer or your community and clients engaged.
Awesome, Dope. Appreciate that. CC, question to you.
Should big brands have their own metaverse? Whew. That's a great question. I am a part of a group of people who believe that one metaverse is the way to go, interoperability or die. Without community, the metaverse is a digital wasteland. So I guess it depends on how these big brands market or showcase these metaverse. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Having a little chat up here. So I really think that if they're going to be an open metaverse to all, and it's sort of just another enhancement of like the larger picture, sure, go for it. But if it's a closed experience, like going to Target and then getting what you need at Target and then leaving and having to go into Walmart and then get what you need at Walmart and then go into TJ Maxx, because that's my Saturday routine. You're welcome. I don't know. It's like, what's the point? Because the metaverse is supposed to be a place for all of us to come together, not to be together separately.
Ooh, that was a good one. Might have to quote that one. Yeah, the metaverse was built for people to work together and not work separately. I think that's something that we're going to have to quote here today. Gecko, question to you. What are your thoughts on that? And please stop messing with the Jumbotron. Thank you.
So to the question, do I think all big brands should have a metaverse? Not necessarily. If it fits in with their business plan and how they're going to sell things, absolutely. But just creating a quote unquote NFT as like a gimmick or a giveaway for a coupon, I mean, that's not going to make it. When you look at a metaverse, the company truly needs to invest in creating that metaverse immersive experience. And it goes beyond just purchasing items. It's, again, the experience that they're giving. So many will try and many are going to fail. It's just going to be a simplistic version of, what most people imagine the metaverse to be. What we are creating and are creating together is an organic type growth of a metaverse that does connect us together, like Cece said. And again, I think many big brands are going to try for that metaverse, but if they're not truly understanding what immersive experience and what that immersive customer wants, they're not going to succeed.
Yeah, and we've seen that with influencers. There's an artist by Chris Brown, who, if you guys don't know who he is, great musician, great guy, VA homie. This is a guy who's millions of followers, but he tried to mint or create his project in the Web3 space, but he didn't have a community on it. And I think out of 1,000, only like 100 sold, right? So I think what you're bringing here, as these big brands or these artists come in here, they have to understand what the utility is for the community to be able to create the right utility for their metaverse. Now, as metaverses are growing and we're getting better tools, I think we're going to grow even faster with that. But question to you, Vance, what are your thoughts on big brands coming into the space? Sorry, what are your thoughts on brands having metaverses in the space?
Well, like most of the panel speakers already said, like only make it if you're really gonna engage with a community. If you have a meaning behind the metaverse, not just make something because that's what you think is gonna bring popularity to you. Something that that is not planned of your project, that doesn't really have a meaning behind, can kind of ruin your whole reputation. You can be very successful in a lot of things, but then you start doing like things that doesn't really correlate with your project. It just can cause a lot of damage to your image when you're just trying to do many different things. What I can say, I know, like I seen like big brands come in here with spatial, but you can see that they're definitely like trying to engage with the community, making events, just to to show that they're here for the right reasons.
Are you guys there?
Yeah, we can still hear you, Dope. Van, thank you for that. And here's my next question to all four of you. All four of you have all different brands, and a lot of you guys are sometimes maybe doing this, I wouldn't say the same thing, but might be incorporating the same ideas. How do you keep your community engaged with the utilities that you guys are creating? I'll go to Cece for this one first.
How do I keep my community engaged with the utilities that I'm offering? Oh, that's
Correct.
a good question. I like to, I guess, share our utilities with our community. I mean, if we learn something new about the industry, I share it with the community. So education plays a big role. We do a lot of pro bono work in order to like help smaller projects get a leg up. And then that in turn turns into, ROI for our company, because we get to showcase these amazing smaller projects, and then larger companies want the same thing. So it's sort of like a relationship. I like to include as many of my community in projects that I'm doing in order to get exposure for that. So those are just some of the things that I do to try to keep everybody engaged in what we're doing.
I love that. What about you, G? Is that kind of the same way that you're also taking approach, connecting with the community and asking them questions?
Was that for me, creative?
Yep, that was for you.
For disturbing the conversation with my music.
And for the love, please stop messing with the jumbo screen, and please mute your mics. I don't want to have to kick anybody here today. Just stop. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Stop touching it.
So
So the
Yes.
utility
Question.
that yes. So the utility that GrebFlow and I bring to our community is we seek out new artists, usually on the Tezos blockchain, but really from any blockchain. We find new artists, we put together a gallery, we promote them, we introduce them to our community. We also we're going to create a newsletter where we were going to essentially publish our monthly acquisitions for the gallery. But once we entered Spatial, of course, we now have a whole downtown, a New York downtown, that we can fill up. So we will have a rotating gallery there of our monthly acquisitions. And of course, you guys, well, maybe you don't know, but Tezos has been touted by Art Basel as being the underground art world. So there is a lot of movement with Tezos and artists going on Tezos. So it is something to look forward to, and that's the information that we try to provide to our community. As well, GrebFlow and I are present in Twitter Spaces as much as we possibly can. And we, of course, cross-pollinate. We try to bring Web3 information to those of us in our community that we're a part of right now. They don't necessarily know a whole lot about the metaverse or Web3, but we're helping them learn. So, yeah.
That is a fantastic answer. The educational part, using the newsletter, using the Discord, I guess asking everybody at once what they're doing, I think that those are the things that keep people engaged, because I think we can all agree, even though we have holders, it's hard to keep them engaged. It's hard to keep them updated on what we're doing because they're doing their own thing. So I think the over communication part is what really sticks in hands. Vance, I'm going to turn it over to you. Is that something you wanted to add?
Yes, of course. So I've basically been keeping my community engaged by constantly being here for them, whether on Twitter, whether on Spatial, trying to do new events. When I host, event showcase, I reach out individually, seek out to build a new connection and keep that connection throughout the whole year, and just to see how it grows. Like, I like to check on them once in a while to see how far their journey has been through. So I believe, just mostly what keeps a community engaged is your communication. You're showing that you're there for them and showing them the process that what you're saying is really happening.
Absolutely. I think that's another great way. Now, within the metaverse, I think, Cece just brought up a great point, right? The metaverse wasn't created to work separately. It was created to work with others, right? And I think one of the biggest utilities that I'm seeing within the metaverse is the educational side of things. And I want to just take a moment to ask you three. I know Dope might have stepped out. Is what are your thoughts on the educational side of the metaverse? Are you seeing that as something more growing? Is that something that you're going to be using more towards, your own projects? Crypto era, we get it. Thank you. We'll go with G3 first.
Sorry, Owls, could you repeat that? You got cut off there.
Yeah, can you please stop clapping for a second, Era? What I was saying was now within the metaverse, a lot of the utilities is around educational. What we're seeing, a lot of people use the metaverse is to educate and train. What are your thoughts on that aspect? Is that something that you are looking to incorporate within your own business structure to help people educate and learn more in the metaverse as a utility?
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, that's what I thought you said, but I wanted to make sure I had caught it. But yes, that's absolutely what we do. GrebFlow and I are involved in another community, which is the VV community, and we were the original founders of Women of VV. So in that group, we introduced women to crypto, to Web3. We did interviews on YouTube. We taught them how to use streaming services.
We brought them into Discord. We brought them into DMs. Basically, we are educating every step of the way. When we learn something, we teach it to somebody else. So education is a really big part of G3 Connects and what we do. And we will eventually be setting up a mentorship program that aspiring artists will be able to, pair up with an artist or just come and check out our metaverses and our galleries that we have to help introduce them to the different forms of digital art that's out there right now.
What a great answer. Thank you so much for that, G3. I'll turn the question over to you, Cece.
Education is definitely a platform that all projects should champion. We are such a small population of quote unquote in the know users or creatives that in order for us to grow together, we need to educate. Miss Gecko has a great example. She has this great sort of path forward for G3, which is amazing. And it should be part of all of our structures in some way. I mean, even you, Owls, you focus on education in your Twitter spaces once a week. Metaverse Monday is for onboarding new users. I'm starting to grow my knowledge of metaverses, and I'm bringing that knowledge back to my community. And so I really do think that it is a educate or die situation. The more people we onboard, the better our community is going to grow, and we'll get more creatives in the space. So 100%.
I love that. And I feel like one of the biggest utilities in the metaverse is the educational part, right? Especially artists that are creating things, or if you know something on Blender, being able to token gate those things or those environments is one of the biggest utilities in this space. Knowledge is power, and being able to help people understand that and utilizing new technology like the metaverse is where we're going to see a lot of people. We're seeing AR, reality, VR reality come into place, and these are the things people are using to train and to learn. You have the United States Air Force that has pilots that train in VR and in AR, and these save the military millions and millions of dollars by using these type of technologies and educational wise. Why should we not be able to use those things moving forward? So I think educational part is one of the biggest things inside the metaverse that we'll see moving forward, not only for creators, but actually just educators and thought leaders in the space. The question goes to you, Dope Stilo, and then Vance.
Yes, I completely love the education and the educational aspect of the metaverse. I think that we have like a tremendous amount of power to learn so fast on such a compounded level, and we don't really have like a local, it's not like local talent, it's now the world, and we can now work with anyone and from anywhere, and it's definitely a beautiful thing. For me, like even just the educational portion has led me to make a song. So I was doing a recording lab, and I used to do recording lab Mondays when I had more time, and people would come in and just check out my Logic file, and I would, do songwriting, etc. And one person came in with his piano and said, "Hey, Dope Stilo, I really want to play the piano." And so he just started rocking out, and we made a beat and made a song called Tulio, Bien Dope. So yeah, it's amazing what this can do. And yeah, like we're talking about in metaverses, we don't have to sell things in there. We can go in and have an experience with the brand, accumulate, learn, and be more informed.
Love that. Vance, over to you.
I want to say that education is like, it can't be very strong and grow like many directions here in the metaverse. As we know, we are able to connect with artists, creators from all over the world. So right now we get that chance just to learn many things that, for the longest maybe has been kept a secret. The metaverse does give us a lot of opportunity just for this type of creator, being able to host, virtual classes, something that a medium that they never had before. It is like a place for or opportunity to create. Within my projects, I am planning to partnership with other people. I already have partnership with New Sutras, and we have this New Sutra Art Wellness. When we have already hosted, different classes, you can get classes like from yoga here in the metaverse, and we're trying to spend when it comes to the wellness a space. But every creator can basically make anything possible and teach others, and this metaverse definitely makes it easier to learn.
Absolutely. Guys, you guys have heard from one of the top 4 brands that are in our community that are working, that are actually really doing it. There are brands that are just starting out, and they might be having all this nice watches and nice shiny stuff, but these are the ones that are actually in here that are really pumping out work, really working with collaborators. So go ahead and click on the profiles. Go follow them. See what they're doing. These are the ones that are going to be innovating, and these are the creators that you want to double down and follow along what they're doing, because they're creating, they're innovating, and they're also willing to work with you right now, guys. So just something to think about. Miss Gecko, thank you so much for being here, and I'm really getting to know you more in your community, and looking forward to working with you and collaborating with you. Vance, is always a pleasure. Looking forward to your Women in Tech and what you got going on. Dope Stilo, my guy, you're one blue chip away from blowing up. That's what I always tell you, man. If you guys don't know, this guy has been working his ass off, putting out music and doing things that not a lot of people have been doing. And Cece, hats off to you with all your success, your hard work, and pushing others to be better, right? And being consistent. I think that's a thing that it's a complete utility. And if you guys see these guys up here with the projects, these are the people that you want to invest in, because these are the ones that are actually creating real utilities in the metaverse. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We're going to give it a second. We're going to get the next panel session. We're going to start here in about 10 minutes. I know the spatial team is running a little bit late, but thank you, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. But again, thank you, guys.
I'm here, creative.